What is up, everybody? Here with the 48th shelf of my action movie collection, starting off with The Hunger Games. Uh, Out of all these dystopian movies, I would say this is probably my favorite series. I would have liked to have seen how Divergent ended, but of course they didn't do that. But they did end this one. And The Hunger Games is an amazing movie. The first time I watched it, I was just brought in immediately. Very well done. Great story, great acting, great script writing, the whole nine right here. Worth checking out if you've never seen this series before. Then, of course, we have The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. I think this is the best of the series. It had a bigger budget than the first one, so it looked a lot better. The cast was still the same. The writing was still phenomenal. I think I know it had a source material to go off of. I'm wondering if they maybe wrote all these movies at the same time as well. But great movie. Best in the series right here. Then we have The Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 1. Loved this movie as well. Not the worst of these four either. I liked all four of the movies, but I'm just saying as far as which one is the worst, this is definitely not the worst. But great story. Absolutely love this series. I go back and watch it every year or so. And then, of course, we've got The Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 2. And if I had to choose the worst one in the series, this one would probably be it. But that's just because, storyline-wise, it's coming to a conclusion. So, you're not getting the build-up that you would in the others. You're getting more of a conclusion. So it's kind of ratcheting down in this one is all. But still very solid movie. Very enjoyable. Very well done. Great cast. Then we have Bullet to the Head with Sylvester Stallone. Huge fan of old school action movies and Sylvester Stallone. And this one delivers. This one is violent. It is throwback to the 80s action for sure. Wish they made more movies like this. Absolutely love this one. Worth checking out if you're a fan of old school action for sure. And then speaking of old school action, we have The Expendables, the extended director's cut. The director's cut as opposed to the original, they're pretty close. The music's a little different. A couple scenes are a little longer, but nothing like, earth-shattering. But still, I'm a huge fan of this series, so I had to get the director's cut as well. And then, of course, we have the original theatrical cut of The Expendables. I was hooked when I heard this movie was announced with the cast that it was going to be in it. I was just 100% in probably 2 years before this ever hit the theaters. I was chomping at the bit. I took off of work to go and see it. It was a happening, and it's one of my favorite action movies of all time for sure. Again, another series I go back and watch every year. Oh. Then we have The Expendables 2. Grander scale than the first one, but still has that old school action feel, which I like. Simon West did a really good job directing this movie. Didn't look like it was lost its tone at all or story. So great movie. Then we have The Expendables 3. Not as good as the first two, but still good. Brought in a lot of old school action stars, but then they brought in all these younger people that were not good and didn't need to be added at all. They could have done without Ortiz, Glenn Powell. The only one who should have been added for the younger crowd was Ronda Rousey. Everyone else could have been left off of there. Same with Kelsey Grammer. But otherwise it was. You go to see these movies for old action stars and all that stuff. So Harrison Ford was a great addition. So was Wesley Snipes and Antonio Banderas and Mel Gibson. But still good. Not as bad as 4. 4 is the absolute worst I've ever seen. And then we have Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. Probably one of my favorite action franchises of all time right here. Tom Cruise delivers. He always does. You know, say what you want about him as a person, but he takes his time and he really puts something phenomenal on the screen anytime he's doing something. So, absolutely phenomenal movie. And then we have Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. They just keep upping the ante with these movies, and this one's even better than Ghost Protocol. So worth checking out for sure. If you love Tom Cruise and haven't seen Mission Impossible, you need to check out all of them. They get better after each and every single one. So 100% worth checking out. But that does it for this shelf. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. Your support is much appreciated. I'm also over on Letterboxd. The link to that is in the profile description of this channel. Otherwise, until next time, guys.